What's up? I'm Matt Bucco, a mural artist out of Illinois, and today I'm going to West Chicago to go paint a city museum. What? Home of Illinois' first railway junction and Gallery 200, where I'm a resident artist, West Chicago's got deep roots and a whole lot of character. I was fortunate enough to land this job because of my connection to the gallery, but speaking of connection, this whole town just felt like it cared about itself, and it was a really cool experience. This mural was really important to me, really special. And it was really unique also because it was in a staircase, which presented a whole mess of challenges for me to work around. But it was an awesome experience. It turned out great. I'm so happy with it. And what an honor it is to be part of the rich history that's going to be in this town for the rest of its life and the rest of my life. And that is an incredible feeling. So sit back and enjoy because we're going to go start this mural. And like most murals, this one started with a trip to the store. And when we got back, we had a bunch of holes to patch up, sand down, and otherwise general prep stuff so we could get everything transferred using the VR headset that I got specifically for this job. Because in this staircase, I can't use a projector, and I wanted to make sure I got my spacing right, my proportions correct, and some of the more technical aspects down. And if you'll notice, I said we, because this time I actually have a helper, and it's so cool to bring more sense of community into this project that already had a super deep sense of it. And it was really nice to have a second set of hands. Doing this all on my own is kind of a lot, so getting a little bit of help made a huge difference. And by the end of day one, I had all of this done. But day two, that's when things got really interesting. Not only was I there to paint, but I also sat down and had a conversation with someone whose last job relied heavily on VR use. Okay, so first, can you tell me your name?
Yeah, hi, I'm Marissa Garza. I've been working at the museum for about a year and a half-ish. My job before this, I used to work with a company that made training videos in VR. So we would take a realistic environment and then put CG characters inside that environment. And so what I'd like to see VR be used for is that middle ground. I think there's like many accessibility options. One of the things I think about VR helping with is like people who can't come to our museum, we just take some footage of the museum and do a tour that way. We're still discovering these use cases. Yeah. Like there's an entire VR department at Stanford that's figuring out how to use VR to help with mental health, to help with physical health, to do all these other things. So I think it's just more and more talking about it and where those use cases come from that it'll be a little bit more widespread. Even though VR has been around for a long time, it's not very user friendly, I would say. One of the biggest things we saw with people adapting it is just like managing it. Once they're in the headset, it's pretty intuitive. A lot of the people that are making the headsets these days are also companies that do other things. These companies really have to decide if they're all in on VR or if they're not. So I think we'll have to get it to a place where VR is quote unquote commonplace, or there's someone that just is like, I believe in VR this much, I'm going to take it forward. I think telling the story of how you're using VR in art is definitely something that will help people kind of understand what VR can be used for. Especially now in 2025, art is something we really need. And it's something that we need to continue to tell stories about. And so I really appreciate the work you're doing. And I'm so glad that we're going to have a part of that here at the museum.
While I did spend all of day two feeling good about myself, I really just put down a second layer of color and didn't film too much. Oh, since I almost just dropped you, let's check in with what I've been doing. By this point, I had finished so much more than I had initially thought I was going to, so I thought I was just gonna fly through this and be done in the next like 2 or 3 days. But I wasn't at all, but I was pretty happy with the progress I had made so far. So remember how I told you this job was in the staircase? 23 of them to be exact, and I had to climb up and down them more times than I would care to count. Which is actually why I started at the top. I wanted to get the top done so that as I moved forward with the project, I could slowly reduce the amount of stairs that I actually had to climb up and down. Bringing us to the end of day 4, which we got a lot of stuff done up at the top, and that means that day 5, I don't have to go up there as much, and I should hopefully have it all finished. So, fingers crossed. As I get to work painting this boxcar, I can't help but think about all the boxcars that have come through this town throughout history and all the people who shaped it into what it was and how much they appreciate art and the fact that I'm painting in a city museum. It's just unreal to look behind me and see all these artifacts and all these stories, and just to be part of something so much bigger than I am is just such an honor. Well, this is the end of day 5 now. I got pretty much all the tedious little detailed parts done today, which took forever, and painted like 20 flowers. Each flower took me a little bit of time, you know. I have this first half finished already, basically. I was able to do most of this boxcar in the time that it took me to do maybe like 10 flowers. I'm just so excited, guys. It is coming along. I can't even believe that this is happening. This is so cool. I'm gonna take some final shots for the day, and I'm gonna get out of here. I got a bunch of stuff I gotta do at home still. I'm tired, but I'm excited to come back for more. Otherwise, this is so cool. I'm gonna get my shots and I'm gonna get out of here. If you're enjoying the video, if you're enjoying the content, make sure you like, subscribe, share. Check out my website. We got merch, we got prints, we got originals. You can contact me there. Check out my Instagram, check out my TikTok. At the Painting Mantis, we paint. And paint I did. I'd been here for a little over 50 hours now in these last 5 days, and I was exhausted, my knees were tired. But when you get down to the bottom of the staircase and you do this final shot up, you can't help but get excited seeing how much progress I've done. So I danced my happy ass to the car and got ready for day 6. Since I had already finished all of the background, today I got to start working on some of the more technical things that wouldn't make any sense to do before I had the background done. And because I had put so much focus on that top section, so I didn't have to go up and down the stairs so often, I was actually able to take the tape off and get that all finished up, which is really cool, and just kind of start working down on this bottom section here. At this point, I was about halfway done, so I was ready to come in and finish strong. Today was supposed to be the last day of painting, but if there's one thing I've learned while being a full-time artist, it's that not a single thing goes according to plan, ever. But it is these unexpected occurrences that allow for the sense of community to flourish because of art. It's just a bunch of people coming together to create something that makes other people smile, but this one actually also has some functionality behind it as well.
The West Chicago City Museum, we are in the historic 1884 Turner Town Hall, but sometimes historic buildings can actually be a barrier to the community because they can be intimidating or people don't understand exactly what they're walking into. And our front entrance, we're also a little bit set back from the street because we used to actually be the fire department, and so it's a little bit of an interesting structure. We've always had this amazing stairwell, which is great, but it wasn't very inviting. We really were thinking about ways to really just bring that space to life, and a mural seemed like the perfect way to do that, with different historic aspects, different pieces that really speak to the longevity of the history, but bring in immigration stories, bring in manufacturing stories. So it was actually just a really perfect way to bring some life to the steps, but also bring history a little bit more to life as well.
Okay, it is day 8. I said it was gonna be done in 7, but it wasn't. I realized where I made a couple mistakes. I should have painted late my first 2 days, and I don't think I would have had to come in today. I really need to get it done. I know I can, I'm so close, but it feels so far away at the same time. I'm just ready for it to finally come together. I'm ready to sign my name. I'm ready to take some pictures. It's been a huge project. It's been difficult on my body. It's been difficult mentally, but it's been such a blessing to become part of this community and to leave my stamp on something that has such a deep-rooted history in Illinois. And it's crazy that I got selected for it. It just means more big things are coming up. And I'm so ready to just keep doing this and bringing some beauty to the world. It's the coolest thing I could have ever dreamed to be doing. And I just couldn't be here without all the support of everyone and people taking chances on me and my art. And just, thank you for watching this video. Thanks for sticking around this long, because 8 days is a long video. It's a long time. I should hopefully be doing a lot more murals. I got a big bus project coming up that I'm excited about. Otherwise, got 5 minutes until 10, and we're gonna go in there and crush today and get out of here and be done with a successful project. Well, we've reached the point where I have to wait for the last thing I'm working on to dry. So you get kind of a slow point, a little bit of time to reflect and think about just how freaking cool this is, dude. Are you kidding me? I mean, it took me forever and my body hurts so bad and I cannot wait to go to sleep. But I'm so proud of the work that I put in. It feels like it all matters today. One of the ladies working here mentioned that like now I'm part of the history, and that is crazy. Like this is such an honor. So before I give everybody all the fun final shots, I just got to say one more time, thank you to everybody at the West Chicago City Museum for the opportunity, for letting me paint here all night, for letting me come in here when I need to and just holding it down for me and making sure I had everything I needed. Couldn't have done it without you guys. It was so fun working together. Thanks for partnering with me. This has been amazing. But without further ado, let's check this out. And as I get these final sections of tape off, I'm once again reminded about how great this community made me feel. And so I decided to ask them what they thought.
Art is, to me, something that helps you express yourself freely.
For me, art is like the culmination of the human experience.
Means everything. It's my recreation and enjoyment.
Art to me is something that makes you feel like you still have a purpose or reason to be here.
It means rest, relaxation, and an open mind.
Whether it's music, drawing, dancing, or somebody playing a sport, however that person does it, that's art.
Art is just people's own thoughts and emotions coming out and manifested in physical forms.
Art is when a feeling refuses to stay quiet.
That is such a loaded question. Art is anything that makes you have an emotional response.
What does art mean to you?
Art is
You.
While this seemed like a really great place to end this video, the town actually put on a little unveiling celebration for me where the mayor spoke, and he said a lot of really powerful things that I feel like should be heard, and I want to share them with you. But this is going to be the last that I check in. Everything else is going to be the ceremony, and so I hope you guys enjoy, and see you guys in the next one.
Thank you, and Matt, thank you. Yeah. We'll have to talk more. We need more murals around town. Like Sarah said, history is sort of what I'm drawn to. So many times recently, I have these conversations about, hey, did you know that this actually happened in our community? We've kind of been through this in a different form that's been very relevant with our immigrant community and 35 people from West Chicago being taken. We've seen this before in the 1930s. The Great Depression hit and people were looking for a scapegoat. The immigrants were the easy ones to blame. Our country forcibly deported 600,000 people at that point, and West Chicago specifically felt that. We went from this thriving community down to just 2 Mexican-American families. People, when I say that, are kind of shocked. No one situation today is exactly like any situation in the past, but there's so many things that we can learn from. That's why it's so valuable to have a local museum, local historian, is to be reminded of those things, because if we don't learn from history, we're bound to repeat it.